Chosen one, this is not a moment to take lightly. The message you are about to receive is not just another piece of advice or encouragement, it is a divine revelation, a holy interruption in your life meant to align you with your true purpose. This is not random. This moment was ordained for you before time even began. You are here not by chance, but by divine appointment, and everything you've experienced has led you to this moment. You are being awakened to something far greater than inspiration or motivation. This is the awakening of your divine purpose. For so long, you may have felt uncertain or unsure of your place in the world, but now the time has come for your true purpose to be revealed. It has been embedded within you from the beginning of time, and now it's time for you to fully understand it and step into it. Your journey, chosen one, has been filled with endurance, pain, and quiet struggles. Through each hardship, you've carried yourself with strength, grace, and dignity. The disappointment you faced did not break you, it shaped you. You've been spiritually prepared for this moment, and now you are ready to see the divine calling that has always been within you. Chosen one, let it be known that you were not created by chance. You were deliberately and intentionally crafted by God for a divine purpose. Every moment of your life, every challenge you faced, and every moment of resilience has been part of the grand design to shape you for your mission. Your struggles, the ones that made you feel as though you were walking through fire, were not meant to destroy you. Instead, they were part of the divine process to mold you into the person who can fulfill the calling placed on your life. As it is written in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Everything you've endured has been preparing you for this moment, chosen one. It's time to step into the fullness of your purpose. You may have felt a sense of restlessness in your spirit, an unease that something is missing, or that the cycles of your life are no longer fulfilling. This feeling is not a sign of failure, it's a spiritual calling. The dissatisfaction you felt with your current environment and the discomfort of being in a place that no longer aligns with your true identity are signals from God that He is pulling you into alignment with your purpose. Just as God called the prophet Jeremiah, He is now calling you. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you," Jeremiah 1:5. You were never meant to be lost. Your soul is being stirred to find your true path, one that was written for you before you even took your first breath. In your journey, you will encounter doors that close, relationships that fade away, and opportunities that vanish. It may seem confusing or even painful, but understand that these closures are not punishments. Instead, they are divine redirections. As Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." These doors are closing because they no longer serve the purpose God has for you. The distractions, relationships, and environments that no longer align with your calling are being removed so that you can focus solely on your divine path. Though it may feel as though you're being left behind or even abandoned, rest assured it is God's loving hand guiding you into something greater. Now, chosen one, you must begin to understand the deeper truth of your journey. You were created for this moment, and your life has always had a divine purpose. You may have spent years searching, questioning, and even doubting, but the time is now to fully embrace who you were meant to be. Your purpose has been built into you from the very beginning, and all the pieces of your life, though they may have seemed scattered, are finally coming together. Remember, in Romans 8:28, it is written, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This is your calling, your purpose, and it has been ordained from before time itself. It is now that you must rise to walk in it. There is a spiritual shift occurring within you. The discontentment you have been feeling is the inner call to awaken to the divine assignment that has always been yours. The universe is aligning your circumstances to place you on the exact path you need to walk, and every experience, no matter how painful or difficult, has been preparing you for this. You are not just a survivor, you are a vessel of purpose, and you are about to step into a season where everything begins to make sense. Your purpose was always waiting for you, and now you are being called to align with it fully. As you walk this journey, remember that the challenges and struggles you have faced have equipped you with wisdom, resilience, and spiritual strength. These qualities are part of your divine makeup, and they will carry you into the destiny God has designed for you. As 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Your past struggles are not a burden, but they are the soil from which your strength, wisdom, and faith will grow. You are being prepared, refined, and shaped for a purpose that will make an impact, not just in your life, but in the lives of those around you. The chosen one. God is not only calling you into a new season of purpose, but is also preparing you spiritually for the weight of what is coming. This season of silence, reflection, and waiting has been the necessary groundwork for what is about to unfold. You are not stepping into a life of ease, but into a life filled with divine purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. God has placed you exactly where you need to be, and now is the time for you to rise up and claim the destiny that has always been yours. No longer will you wander. No longer will you wonder if you're meant for more, because the truth is, you've been destined for greatness, and your time to walk in that greatness is now. So, chosen one, as you embark on this new chapter, remember that God has been preparing you for this moment from the beginning. Every struggle, every heartache, every closed door has been part of your divine training. The pieces are finally coming together, and it's time for you to step into your purpose with courage, confidence, and faith. Embrace the calling that God has placed on your life and know that you are not walking alone. As Psalm 32:8 promises, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." God is guiding you, and He is with you every step of the way. Chosen one, it is important to understand that the world often misdefines purpose. People around you may associate purpose with titles, achievements, recognition, and the approval of others. They may measure success by what can be seen on the surface, by the accolades, the promotions, or the admiration that others shower upon you. However, God's definition of purpose is fundamentally different. His purpose for your life is not bound by the temporary successes that the world celebrates. It is not about the applause of man, the status of your career, or the accolades you receive. Instead, God's purpose for you is rooted in something deeper: obedience, alignment with His will, and faithfulness to His calling. The journey you are on is not about seeking approval from others. It is about staying true to your divine assignment, which is eternal. As 1 Peter 2:9 reminds us, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light." This is the foundation of your purpose, living in alignment with God's light. The world's understanding of purpose often leads people down a path of striving for things that are fleeting. But God's plan for your life is not based on fleeting circumstances or temporary achievements. His purpose is eternal, and it transcends what can be measured by earthly standards. Human expectations will constantly try to impose a framework of success onto you, but you are called to break free from these external measures. It is not the world's approval that will fulfill you, but the alignment of your heart with God's will. Your purpose is not defined by the title you hold, the salary you earn, or the recognition you receive. Instead, it is rooted in the quiet moments of obedience and faithfulness to God's calling. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us of God's perfect perspective. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." You are not meant to chase after what the world calls success, but to walk the path God has set for you with trust and confidence. You may have felt the pressure of the world pushing you to fit into molds that were never meant for you. But now is the time for you to stop measuring yourself by these external standards. You are not meant to blend in with what society deems important. Your purpose is not to chase after external validation, but to seek God's kingdom first and trust that everything else will align. Matthew 6:33 says, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. When you walk in alignment with God's plan, everything else falls into place. You may have faced challenges and confusion along the way, but now it is time for you to recognize the divine calling on your life. The world will continue to define success by numbers, influence, and material wealth, but God's purpose for you is far deeper, and it will be revealed when you stop seeking validation from the outside and begin to look within. This divine purpose has always been present, chosen one. It has never been out of reach. The challenges and hardships you have faced were all part of the process of revealing and aligning you with God's divine will. Your purpose was not an accident, nor was it a random occurrence. It was written for you before time began. Just as God formed the heavens and the earth with intention, so too has He crafted your life with purpose. Ephesians 2:10 affirms this truth, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." You were designed for this moment, for this purpose, and now is the time for you to walk in the fullness of what has always been yours. The process of becoming who you were meant to be involves aligning your spirit with God's will. It's not about climbing a ladder of worldly success or competing with those around you. Your calling is about walking closely with God, listening for His voice, and allowing Him to lead you into the areas where your light can shine brightest. You may have spent time questioning your purpose or feeling inadequate when compared to others. But remember that the measure of your life is not based on the standards of the world, but on your relationship with the Creator. In Psalm 139:16 it says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Your purpose was woven into the fabric of your being long before you took your first breath, and now it is time for you to step into it. As you begin to realize that your purpose is not dependent on the world's standards, you will find a sense of peace and freedom that you have longed for. You will stop searching for external validation because you will already know that your worth is secured in God's love. The world will continue to push its narrative of success, but your soul will find rest in the knowledge that you are walking the path that was prepared specifically for you. In this divine alignment, you will find fulfillment in the work you are called to do, not because it brings recognition or applause, but because it aligns you with your true purpose. The unfolding of your purpose may not come with immediate rewards or accolades, but it will come with something far greater: the peace of knowing that you are in alignment with God's will for your life. This alignment will bring clarity, strength, and courage as you walk the path that has been set before you. You are a vessel for God's work in the world, and your purpose is a living testimony of His grace, faithfulness, and love. As you continue to walk in alignment with Him, you will see how the pieces of your life begin to fall into place, and the doors that were once closed will open in divine timing. Chosen one, take comfort in the knowledge that God's purpose for your life is secure. You are not an accident. You are not lost. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and you are about to experience a season of divine alignment where everything begins to fall into place. Trust in the process and remember that everything you need to fulfill your purpose has already been provided for you. Keep walking in faith, knowing that God has already prepared a way for you and you are destined for great things. Your purpose is being revealed, and it's time for you to step boldly into the life God has designed for you. Chosen one, you have been through so much battles that seemed never-ending heartbreak that made your soul ache, and delays that left you wondering if the promises were ever meant for you. But hear this: none of these trials were random, nor were they without purpose. Every challenge you faced has been part of a greater divine plan. Just as Joseph was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and imprisoned before he could step into his destiny as a leader, Genesis 41:46. So too have you been shaped and refined through hardship. These trials were not meant to break you, but to build you. They were meant to strengthen you, just as David faced the lion and the bear before he became king. 1 Samuel 17:34-37. God has been preparing you for a purpose that is far beyond your current understanding. It is through these experiences that you have grown in resilience, in faith, and in spiritual strength. The trials you've endured have been part of your training. They've sharpened your character, deepened your faith, and increased your capacity for the calling God has placed on your life. Just as gold is refined through fire, your spirit has been refined through the difficulties you've faced. In Romans 5:3-4, we are reminded that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. Every moment of suffering has been forging the character you need to walk into the purpose God has designed for you. You have faced the fire, and rather than being consumed by it, you have been purified, prepared for what is to come. You may have questioned why certain things had to happen the way they did. The unanswered prayers, the doors that closed, the opportunities that slipped away, each of these moments played a role in preparing you for what is about to unfold. You were never meant to stay where you were. God, in His wisdom, knew that you needed to undergo spiritual training just like Moses in the desert, learning patience, humility, and dependence on God before leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Exodus 3:10-12. It was in the desert that Moses learned to hear God's voice, to obey His commands, and to trust in His timing. Likewise, you have been in a season of spiritual training, preparing you to carry the weight of the purpose that God has destined for you. The challenges you have faced have been increasing your capacity to handle the greatness of your purpose. You see, the challenges and the obstacles were not just setbacks, but opportunities for you to grow stronger, for your faith to be tested, and for your spirit to be strengthened. In 1 Peter 1:6-7 it says, "In all this you greatly rejoice, though now, for a little while you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold which perishes, even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed." What you've endured has not been in vain. It has been refining you just as fire refines gold, preparing you to carry the abundant blessings that God is about to release into your life. As you have persevered through these trials, you have developed the spiritual maturity necessary for your divine assignment. You have learned to trust God when everything seemed uncertain. You have learned to hold your peace when the world around you was chaotic. You have learned to rely on His strength when you were weak. These lessons are not just for today, but for the lifetime ahead of you. The struggles you faced have built in you a foundation of wisdom, understanding, and spiritual depth. God has been preparing you to walk in His purpose, and now you are ready to fully understand the calling He has placed upon your life. The process of becoming is never easy. There are moments of doubt, moments when you question if you are truly on the right path. But as you reflect on the trials and the lessons you have learned, you will see that every step has been leading you here to this very moment. God has been working in the background, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities for the time when you would be spiritually ready to step into your destiny. Ephesians 2:10 reminds us, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." Your purpose has always been prepared, chosen one. It has been there all along, waiting for you to be aligned with it. The process of becoming is not just about outward success, it's about spiritual growth and maturity. You have grown in ways that go beyond what can be seen by the naked eye. Your spirit has been equipped to handle the fullness of God's blessings, and now you are about to walk in a season of purpose that you could have never imagined. The internal transformation you have experienced is now about to manifest externally. You are becoming the person who was always meant to be, the person you were designed to be, and you are about to see the fruits of your labor, both the labor you've put into your own growth and the labor God has put into shaping you for His purpose. Your journey has not been in vain, and the challenges that you faced were not random. They were part of your divine process. Now, as you step into this new season, know that the work God has done in you is complete and you are ready. You have been spiritually shaped, and you are now positioned to walk in your divine purpose. This is your moment, chosen one. The trials, the pain, and the setbacks were never meant to keep you down. They were meant to build you up for the great work ahead. In Isaiah 61, we are called to arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is your time to rise, to shine, and to walk fully in the purpose that has always been yours. The process is complete and the time for action is now. You are ready to fulfill your divine calling, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. Chosen one, the time has come for clarity. You are no longer wandering aimlessly in confusion or doubt. The seasons of uncertainty have come to an end, and now, as you stand at the threshold of your divine purpose, you can feel a profound sense of alignment. The journey that brought you here was not without its struggles, but those struggles were part of a greater plan designed to refine you and prepare you for this very moment. God's timing is perfect, and what seemed like delays and setbacks were in fact part of the process of preparing you for the moment when your purpose would be revealed. As it says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Your time has arrived, chosen one, and this moment is yours to step into your divine calling with confidence. It is important to understand that embracing God's will is not a passive act. You are called to follow Him faithfully, to know Him intimately, and to carry His light into the world. This is not about seeking external approval or validation from the world, but about living in alignment with God's plan for your life. When you live with conviction, even in the face of opposition, you are walking in the true essence of your purpose. God has never called you to a life of mediocrity or to live according to the world's standards. He has called you to live with purpose and to bring His light into the darkness. As Matthew 5:14-16 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your purpose is to be a beacon of light in a world full of darkness. As you step into your calling, you must also learn to embrace purpose over performance. The world may try to measure your success based on external achievements, titles, or accolades, but God's purpose for you is not found in the performance of worldly standards. It is found in the obedience of following His will, trusting that He will guide you and walking in the path He has set before you. Your purpose is not about impressing others or seeking applause, but about living faithfully to the calling God has placed on your life. It is in this obedience that you will find peace, fulfillment, and the clarity you have been seeking. God's plan for you is not a performance for others to see, but a divine mission that is rooted in His will for your life. The world may offer distractions, pressures, and expectations that pull you away from your true purpose, but it is in those moments of quiet reflection and alignment with God that you will find your true path. This clarity of purpose will not come through striving or trying to keep up with the world's pace. It will come when you learn to sit in silence, trust in God's timing, and align yourself with His will. In James 1:5, we are reminded, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him." God is offering you wisdom, clarity, and guidance, but you must be willing to sit still, listen to His voice, and trust that He will lead you to where you need to be. Your purpose is not a fleeting pursuit. It is a lifelong calling that is rooted in your identity as a child of God. As you walk in alignment with His will, you will begin to see how everything in your life starts to fall into place. Every experience, every struggle, and every victory has been part of the divine plan that has been unfolding before you. In Romans 8:28, it is written, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every step you have taken has brought you closer to the purpose God has prepared for you. And now, as you embrace this truth, you are stepping into a season of clarity, peace, and fulfillment. Embracing your purpose means accepting the responsibility that comes with it. It means recognizing that your calling is not just for your own benefit, but for the service of others and for the glory of God. The work that you are called to do is significant, and it will have a lasting impact on those around you. As you align yourself with God's will, you will begin to see how He uses you to bless others, to share His love, and to spread His light. In Ephesians 2:10 it says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." Your purpose is not a solitary journey. It is one that involves the lives of others, and God will use you to make a difference in the world. As you walk in this purpose, chosen one, know that the journey is not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, challenges, and obstacles that may try to deter you from your path. But it is in those moments that you must remember the strength that God has placed within you. Your purpose is not just about success or achievement, it is about faithful obedience to the calling God has placed on your life. As Isaiah 40:31 promises, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." With God's strength, you will overcome any obstacle, and you will continue moving forward with purpose and clarity. In conclusion, chosen one, your purpose is not something to be discovered, but something to be embraced. It is not a path that you must strive to find, but one that has been laid out before you by God. As you align yourself with His will, you will step into a season of clarity and fulfillment where everything in your life begins to make sense. The world may offer distractions and false definitions of purpose, but God's calling for you is clear and true. Embrace it fully, walk in it confidently, and trust that God will guide you every step of the way. The purpose you have been waiting for is here, and it is time for you to step into it with faith and courage. Chosen one, a new season is upon you, one that marks the culmination of everything you've endured. The confusion, the waiting, the uncertainty, these are all behind you now. You are entering a new phase where your purpose will no longer feel like an elusive dream, but rather the foundation of your every step. For too long, you have been searching for direction, unsure of your place in this world. But now, with clarity and confidence, your purpose will become the compass by which you navigate every decision and challenge that comes your way. The time for wandering and doubting is over. You are stepping into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. As you enter this new season, there will be a divine realignment taking place within you. The things that once distracted you, the false ambitions that tugged at your heart, and the expectations the world placed upon you will no longer have a hold on you. In their place, you will experience the peace and assurance that come from walking in perfect alignment with God's will. As it says in Psalm 37:5, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this." God has already paved the way for you, and now it is time for you to walk boldly and confidently in the path He has laid out for you. Your life, chosen one, is no longer going to be driven by external forces or pressures. As you align yourself more deeply with God's purpose, you will begin to see how the distractions of the world fade away. The relationships that once seemed like a priority will take a back seat, and the ambitions that once felt urgent will lose their appeal. Instead, you will find that new opportunities begin to unfold before you, ones that are in perfect alignment with your divine calling. These new opportunities won't feel forced or rushed. They will come naturally with ease and grace because they are divinely orchestrated. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." You are not walking alone. God's hand is guiding you every step of the way. This season will bring you fulfillment like you've never known before. True fulfillment does not come from external achievements, recognition, or material gain. It comes from knowing that you are walking in the purpose God designed for you. As you step into your calling, your heart will feel at peace, and your actions will be aligned with your deepest values. There will be no more pretending or trying to fit into a mold that doesn't suit you. You will live authentically, fully expressing the person God created you to be. This authenticity will bring a deep sense of contentment and joy as you realize that living according to God's purpose is the only true path to fulfillment. As Matthew 6:33 reminds us, But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. When you seek his will first, everything else falls into place. The shift into this new season will not come without its challenges. You may face moments where doubt tries to creep in and the temptation to revert to old patterns may arise. However, you must remember that this is part of the process. The enemy will try to keep you from stepping into the fullness of your calling by using distractions, doubts, and even fear, but you have already been prepared for this moment. The trials and struggles you faced in the past were not in vain. They were shaping you, building your strength, and refining your faith. Now, as you enter this new season, you will be equipped to overcome every challenge that comes your way. As Romans 8:37 declares, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." Your strength comes from the Lord, and through him you are more than capable of facing whatever lies ahead. This season will also bring a deeper understanding of your identity. As you align with God's purpose, you will begin to see yourself through his eyes. You are not defined by your past struggles, your mistakes, or the expectations of others. You are defined by the truth of who God says you are, his beloved child chosen for a divine purpose. You will begin to live from this truth, allowing it to shape every area of your life. Your self-worth will no longer be based on approval from others or worldly success, but on the knowledge that you are deeply loved and valued by God. As Isaiah 43:4 reminds you, "Since you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you, I will give people in exchange for you, nations in exchange for your life." God has already declared your worth, and it is immeasurable. The relationships in your life will also undergo a transformation in this new season. Those who are meant to walk with you in this divine purpose will come alongside you, supporting and encouraging you as you fulfill your calling. At the same time, relationships that were holding you back or distracting you from your purpose will fall away. This is not a loss, it is a divine pruning. As John 15:2 says, "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." The pruning process may feel painful at times, but it is necessary for your growth and for the fulfillment of your purpose. As you move forward, the clarity you will experience in this season will be undeniable. You will no longer question your purpose or second-guess your decisions. The voice of God will become clearer, and you will hear him guiding you with more certainty. Your actions will align with his will, and you will walk in the authority that comes from knowing you are walking in your divine purpose. You are no longer the person you were before. You have been transformed, refined, and equipped for this season. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." The work God has called you to do is already prepared, and now is the time to step into it. In conclusion, Chosen One, this new season is a season of purpose, peace, and divine alignment. You have endured the trials, the waiting, and the confusion, and now you are stepping into the fullness of your calling. Everything you need for this season is already within you. Trust in God's timing, walk in his will, and know that he is with you every step of the way. Your purpose is unfolding, and you are stepping into a season of divine fulfillment that will exceed your expectations. As Philippians 1:6 encourages, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. You are not alone in this journey. God is completing the work he has started in you, and his plans for you are good.